From the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8.
Now the latest news.
Kylie Conway has the latest news. The top headlines. News you can use.
Please stand by.
Sponsored by LCS Heating and Cooling. Now, here's Wish TV's Kylie Conway.
Hi, this is Kylie Conway, and this is the News 8 Daily 8 for Monday, June 7th. Weather-wise, it's going to be similar to what we had yesterday and the day before. A lot of places will dry out, warm and muggy with scattered showers. So it really depends on where you are. Just warm, muggy, it's going to get hot, and it's kind of going to be the same for the next few days as well. Dealing with a lot of violence from over the weekend and even this morning. One person was killed in a shooting around 1 o'clock on Churchill Court. It's near 21st Street and Midhofer Road. This morning, the city is dealing with the aftermath of almost a dozen shootings over the weekend. Police believe that this morning's homicide had something to do with a party that they're working to figure out how it happened. They estimate between 50 and 100 people were leaving Churchill Court when officers got there. And then earlier in the evening, officers had been called to that same house for a large party. Now, 5 people are dead and 12 people are wounded after police responded to 10 different shootings over the weekend. There were different locations, some of them more close together, not all of them. But the violence comes as the Indianapolis City County Council is preparing for today's Indianapolis prayer service. This is the second year leaders like Mayor Joe Hogsett, Marion County Sheriff Carrie Forstall, and IMPD Chief Randall Taylor will gather to remember those who have died due to gun violence and ask for prayers of healing. Other city leaders are expected to meet at noon in Luger Plaza. We did speak with IMPD on scene at this morning's shooting from overnight. They say that the community has to work with them and report what they saw and what they heard. The Indianapolis City County Council will address a new safety reduction plan tonight. Mayor Hogsett released his plan last week. It calls for more than $2 million to be spent on non-law enforcement programs. That would include violence interrupters and community resources. The mayor also plans to invest another $1.5 million in law enforcement technology. That includes money for community interaction systems, upgrades to technology infrastructure, increasing staff for data work, and increasing officer accountability. And also today, the city county councilors will vote on the Marion County Health Department's new COVID-19 health recommendations. If the city county council votes to ease restrictions, that would include dropping the mask mandate for people who are fully vaccinated in Marion County, meaning that masks may no longer be required as you walk into businesses in Marion County. If the plan is passed, it goes into effect immediately. It would also increase capacity at summer camps, bars, and restaurants to 75% and indoor events to 50%. About a half dozen businesses in downtown who our Hannah Mordeau spoke to said that they do plan to make masks optional if the health order changes and is passed tonight. Most say they're waiting to see what the City County Council decides. One Indy building owner did tell Hannah that they are not going to change their what they're doing, telling his business tenants that, you know what, you do what you think is best. But he did say that the mask requirement should be removed. Another business, Silver in the City, popular when they're on Mass Ave, says that they plan to keep masks for now, regardless of the decision tonight. Now, last week, the health department said they hope to end health restrictions by the 4th of July if 50% of Marion County gets vaccinated. Tonight's City County Council meeting is set to begin at 7 o'clock. And today, Vice President Kamala Harris kicks off her first trip abroad as vice president. She's in Guatemala. She and Second Gentleman Doug Emhoff touched down in the country last night. And then today, Harris is scheduled to meet with the president of Guatemala. Tomorrow, she's traveling to Mexico to meet with Mexico's president. The trip will focus on migration, specifically figuring out the reasons for a flood of migrants at the U.S.-Mexico border. Air Force Two was forced to turn around shortly after Harris left for that trip. The vice president's spokesperson says the crew noticed the landing gear wasn't storing properly. Harris eventually got on a different plane. An hour and a half later, she said everything was okay. She kind of gave a shout out to some reporters asking questions and said, "We said a little prayer, but everything's okay." At least 40 people are dead after 2 express trains collided in southern Pakistan. According to railway officials, the 2 trains collided between railway stations in the southern part of the country. Rescue services say so far 23 people have been rescued. The Prime Minister of Pakistan is offering condolences to the families of the victims. The leader tweeted early this morning that he's ordering a comprehensive investigation into railway safety fault lines. It's not yet known what caused the crash. And today, more discussions on infrastructure between President Biden and Republican lawmakers. Biden and Senator Shelley Moore Capito are set to meet after the president rejected a counteroffer on Friday. The new proposal increased the price tag to around $978 billion. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg says President Biden's plan is still not finalized. A lot of conversations still to be had. One of the main points of disagreement on President Biden's plan is how the country will pay for it. The president wants to increase corporate taxes. Republicans propose using COVID-19 relief money that hasn't been spent. And today, the Indianapolis Public Library reading program begins. This year's theme is Discover. It encourages kids to learn more about the world around them through reading and exploration. Kids can win goodies, toys, even tickets to an Indians game. This children's summer reading program encourages continued learning while kids are away from school. So participants may read any book, graphic novel, magazine, ebook, or newspaper, including books they own and books borrowed from the library. And then the time spent reading, listening to audiobooks, reading aloud to someone, or being read to can be tracked in the Beanstack Tracker app. Kids and teens have until August 7th to redeem prizes. Prince Harry and Duchess Meghan Markle are welcoming their second child. According to the couple, Lilibet Diana was born on Friday, weighing 7 pounds and 11 ounces at a California hospital. The baby's name pays tribute to her great-grandmother and grandmother. Lilibet is Queen Elizabeth II's family nickname. Harry and Meghan say Diana was chosen to honor Prince Harry's late mother, of course. A Buckingham Palace spokesperson is responding to the new arrival. The palace writes, the Queen, the Prince of Wales, and the Duchess of Cornwall and the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge have been informed and are delighted with the news of the birth of a daughter for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. According to the couple, Meghan and baby Lily are healthy and well and settling in at home. The newborn is the Queen's 11th great-grandchild. And to business headlines, 2 energy companies have finalized a plan for Indiana renewable energy projects. Tri Global Energy, a leading originator and developer of utility-scale renewable energy projects, has announced an agreement to sell 2 renewable energy projects, a wind and a solar project in Blackford County, Indiana, to Leeward Renewable Energy. Blackford Wind will be capable of delivering up to 200 megawatts, and Blackford Solar will be capable of 150 megawatts. The projects combined are expected to produce enough energy to power more than 80,000 homes. The companies are still working on government permits, but expect to begin in 2023. The cost of homes in the United States hit a new all-time high in May for the 4th consecutive month. However, experts say that prices may finally be cooling after nearly a year. The national median listing price for active listings hit $380,000 last month. That's according to Realtor.com. Restaurants are turning to on-demand hiring apps during the labor squeeze. Almost half of restaurants are operating with 20% less staff than usual. It's according to the National Restaurant Association. Restaurateurs often turn to Craigslist to find workers, but lately there hasn't been sufficient response to meet rising demand. Rent the Runway has become a full-fledged resale site with everything on the platform now available for purchase with or without a membership. The move comes on the heels of Etsy buying Depop, a clothing resale site geared towards younger consumers. The business built around clothing subscriptions always made purchasing items they wanted to keep an option for its members, but now the opportunity to buy previously worn fashion is open to everyone. The Washington Post says Apple's tightly controlled App Store is teeming with scams. It says nearly 2% of Apple's top grossing apps on one day were scams, and they have cost people $48 million. Apple says it is constantly improving its methods for sniffing out scams and usually catches them within a month of hitting the App Store. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway, online at wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
The News 8 Daily 8 is sponsored by LCS Heating and Cooling. Be sure to like and subscribe to this podcast on News 8 Daily 8 with Kylie Conway. And be sure to discover even more great podcasts now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.